This is Dorje, the fashion stylist, and you all are now watching Dorje Day. This is episode 1 of hopefully many more to come, but we'll just talk about that, and you all will see those things as we go. As you can see, I have a room full of people today. All of these people have inspired and affected me, and I've had the opportunity to collaborate and work with them in many shapes and forms and fashions over the course of my career here in Dayton, Ohio. So I'll say their names, and then we'll pass this microphone down for them to actually share with you all who they are and what it is that they actually do. Excuse me, what they actually do. So I have Ashley Kinsey, Lamar Paisley, Shatira Jenkins, and William Boatwright.
I am Ashley Kinsey, owner of Kinsey's Clothing and Claudia's Collection.
My name is Lamar Paisley. I'm owner of Shutter Eye Photo as well as co-owner of Dayton Wedding Photographers.
Hi, my name is Shatira Jenkins. I'm the owner of Shatira Jenkins Beauty Studio as well as Dayton Powder Brows. I'm a professional makeup artist as well as a permanent makeup artist.
Hello, my name is William Boatwright Jr. I am a model and an actor.
Thank you. And so we are going to jump right into, a couple of questions that I have put together for these people. There are some specific questions, and then there are just questions that I have here just to open up to the room or to these people, and they will answer as they feel free. All right. So as an entrepreneur, what do you feel that are the pros and cons to actually being an entrepreneur for yourself personally, because you all are 4 different businesses? So if you could just share with us the pros and cons, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
We're going to be here all night. Right. I mean, pro, you work for yourself. Can't nobody tell me nothing. I mean, I still work a full-time job, so I'm lying, y'all. But you just, to have the freedom to be able to do what you want to do, to be able to have the creative mind to do what I want to do with my work. But with that comes one of the cons, because you don't have anybody holding you accountable for anything. So if you're a procrastinator or, you put everything else on everything is always somebody else's fault. I can't think of the right word, but I'm not trying to have y'all here all night. But you know what I'm saying? If you're one of those type of people, you're not going to make it in business very long. Because, if you can't hold yourself accountable it's not going to work out. I'm just
chime in on that question.
Yeah, I totally agree with everything she just said. So I do have 2 companies for photography. During the day, I am a systems and software engineer, so I do a lot of IT work and stuff like that. So I've had government IT companies, and then I had this. So in every situation, I feel like it is good having the flexibility to be an entrepreneur, but having everything on your back is huge. So like, if you don't make the business, don't make the money you want to make, it may result in you losing some stuff.
Right.
So that's different. A lot of people that I've been in business with over the years, they haven't been able to stomach the whole issue of being able to put everything on their back. It scares them, and so they run away from it, and that scares a lot of people out of the business as well. So.
I would say flexibility is number one. That was one of the reasons why I started working for myself and being an entrepreneur. Of course, the artistic background and being able to express myself through my work is major. So I guess that's a pro, and also not having someone telling me what to do, like she was saying. One of the cons I would say is if you're a procrastinator, which sometimes I am, like it really can put you behind schedule. Many people don't think about like the background work that you have to do, which makes up majority of your business, and that's the part that's not as fun. So sometimes you can be up late hours trying to work your business after you're done with clients. So I think people need to think about that part of it if they decide to be an entrepreneur, because that can make or break people alone. So.
Well, I'll fourth that and agree that that is, one of the pros and cons. Some of the pros and cons to working for yourself, especially when you're in the business by yourself and you don't have a team behind you. You are your greatest inspiration, your motivation. You are the person that you have to look at when things aren't complete, or if you go through with the project and you didn't, X out all the things that you were supposed to X out before the actual date of the project, and then you're looking at yourself once the finishing product comes out, like, okay, well, of course it was going to come out like this, because I should have did everything that I was supposed to do and make time for the things that I was supposed to make time for, so that this project will come out the right way. All right, so this is more so related to, being an entrepreneur and living in Dayton, Ohio. What do you think, how do I want to word this? I want to reword this. What are things that you think that this city could improve on when it comes to the fine arts? We don't have to go back and forth, but I guess we can just start with you, William, since you didn't answer that English. So the question was, again, what is something that you feel like this city could improve on when it comes to the fine arts? And I say fine arts because it's a broadened type of thing. I mean, all of us fit up under that umbrella.
What I've experienced is that, as far as being an actor, even a model, that you have to create opportunities, because being a small city, like compared to New York, even Cincinnati, Columbus, as far as like for my sake, like finding auditions, people who have productions that they're putting on, people who are even creating plays, that is the that's been the major issue. And then also being a black artist also in the city has been kind of difficult also. That would be my answer to the question.
I guess I'll add something. So you said like
Things that this city could improve on when it comes to the fine arts.
having more opportunities here. We get overlooked a lot because Dayton isn't as known or big as like Columbus, Cincinnati, Cleveland. So oftentimes, like if I want to do trainings or learn something different, I have to go to another city or state to do that. So I think compared to other places, Dayton can sometimes be a little behind in the times, but like William was saying, you have to create your own opportunities, and I think many people make excuses for why they can't move further because they're not willing to do what it takes to get there. So.
Okay, cool. All right. Okay, so I agree to the things that you two both said when it comes to the things that this city really could improve on. And it is difficult as being a black artist in this city because there are some fine arts here, but like you said, we are overlooked. On a more positive note, what is one major accomplishment that you have made for yourself, and what is another accomplishment that you would like to make in our present or in the future? I'll start with you.
So I should say, an accomplishment that I have already made. Starting a second business. Because I don't even know why I was crazy for starting another one, because I got one, and yeah, I think about that every day. Like, what were you thinking? But no, probably starting Claudia's Collection, especially because it has meaning behind it. Who it's dedicated to. So that probably something that I want to do. I definitely want my own storefront.
Um, I think, excuse me, the biggest accomplishment I think is, like you said, of course, starting a second business, actually third business, and then being able to help people get into industries that they want to get into. Um, at times, I've given people leniency or cheaper rates or something like that helps people get started, or either capture somebody that wasn't actually a model and got them to agencies. So I feel like that makes me feel good. I don't know if it's as much of accomplishment as it is something that I like to do. And then going forward, I want to continue to help others and also be able to build up more residual streams of income where I'm not working myself so hard to make the money, where they're making money and I'm not, necessarily have to put my face and hands in everything. So
I guess I'm saying the same thing. Um, Having a second business, I never really wanted to do permanent makeup. I kind of got pushed there by clients asking me and everything. So I kind of shocked myself in that category. And it really makes me happy along with still doing makeup. I think in the future, I would also like to have a storefront because I want to have a bigger space to be able to expand and have that training background here that many people don't already have in Dayton for my beauty industry stuff. So I would like to be that for people to be able to expand Dayton too.
I guess one of my biggest accomplishments as an artist has been to perform at the Cincinnati Opera. Also, that was a major, that wasn't even a goal, but the opportunity came, and I just did that back in July. Also, to be an example like Lamar was talking about, I think to be an inspiration for other black boys to pursue, the arts, whether it be dance, music, illustration, not to lose that part of them. And then also in the future, I would like to work more within my community, with other artists, and to hopefully, movies, even local stuff, short films. That's my goal for the future.
All right, and I'll chime in on answering that question as well. For myself personally, to be able to still be standing in my business, not giving up on my business, because again, like we all do, we work for ourselves. So I'm sure we have many moments of being tired and frustrated, or just overwhelmed with all of the things that you have put yourself in, and asking yourself, can you see yourself continuing to do these things here because of where we live, and not being able to be exposed or have the opportunities that we feel like we're worth having while here. So I'm going to jump into some personal questions. It's kind of silly, but it's a good question. This is for Shatira. So when it comes to makeup, and me being a fashion stylist, and from where I started, I always was more into like a heavier beat, whereas now I'm into more of less is more type of look. I like the more softer, the more realistic looking of a face. Whereas today, because our culture is so inspired by hip hop and reality TV, most women, and I say most because all aren't interested in, more heavier full beat. Because me personally, and I say this is funny because I often tell people that sometimes it can cross over to them almost looking real drag-like. So, because I really do feel like drag has influenced the art of female rappers or females that are in the entertainment industry, whether it's simply just be on reality TV shows or just that hot 10 seconds of fame, they, to me, simply just end up preferring a heavier beat. So the question is basically, do you prefer a soft beat or a hard beat, and why?
I prefer a soft beat because in the end, as a artist, a professional, people are hiring you to look like their natural selves. So if you're doing something that's like harsh contouring or overly done eye and bold lip and all of that meshed together, that's not going to keep you getting long-term clients. So you see my work, most of my stuff is very natural, especially for weddings. Brides aren't wanting to have that heavy Instagram look. I get a few here and there, but for the most part, that's where my sole business is. So if I had changed at this point, I probably would not get the clients that I get now. So I do it occasionally for like fashion or like photo shoots and stuff, but that's not what people want to see and when they look back on their photos. So
All right, so we'll go back to another question that's pretty open to all of you. Why do you think that Dayton is so narrow-minded? I think this personally. And we as a whole Black community don't support each other enough as some of us think we should. I'll open this up to whoever would like to go
I was
first.
about to say, we all got something to say about that.
That's good. Well, I'll put a different spin on a different focus. I feel like Dayton is a working town. And because it's a working town, people's priorities are slightly different depending on what industry you're in or whatever. So even say for myself, like what the tornadoes went through and everything like that, a lot of people would think you wouldn't be affected by it. Actually, my business went down a little bit on photo shoots, but not weddings, because weddings is sort of like inelastic. People are not going to stop doing a wedding because a tornado came through. But go and have a family shoot or something like that, they like, I need to put furniture back in my house. I need to do this thing. So that's no longer a priority for me. So I think priorities for working class people are different here. A lot of people do work in Dayton, a lot of other cities. Some people work, some people got sponsors or, whatever it is. They got, it's a different lifestyle. A lot of people are working, trying to do things. So I think their priorities are a little different sometimes. Don't be scared.
Try to think of like I said, we can be here all day. I think for what I do, as far as like a lot of pop-ups, trying to get people in my clothes and in my hats. Dayton is a popularity contest, I feel like, a lot of times. And I know it's not what you know, it's who you know. But like, I've tried to sell people clothes since I've been in business. And now that they see somebody else in my clothes, they like it because their friend bought it. But it's like, it's the same shirt I had in 2017, when you was at my event and you looked the other way. So, but it could be word of mouth. It could be a lot of things, but I do think a lot of people don't support what they don't know. Or they have to wait for somebody else to validate something instead of just liking what you like and being who you are. Because I know a lot of my stuff is different because I like different. I like to be original. So I know it doesn't catch everybody's eye. So that may be it too. But I think with a lot of things that people do, it's about who you are you know, like what if they know you or not, instead of just supporting something like I said because they like it. It's like, well, who is that? What it, you know what I'm saying? Instead of, oh, what you got on? I like that. I might. It's, oh, well, I don't know her. So, but
Okay. Thank you for answering it that way. I mean, that was kind of the answer that I was looking for. So now we're going to jump back in. A more personal question. This is for William. Why do you think that it is important as a male model to be versatile and still always remain true to your signature?
That's interesting because I don't consider myself very versatile. Honestly, based off of my size, my look, because a lot of like urban stuff, I don't think I could pull off, you know, as a model perspective. But you have to be true to yourself, like she was saying. Like I think that translates through how you model, like your artistry. Like I think that's important. But versatility is very important, I think, in the modeling industry. Like I was saying, like I don't think I'm very diversified when it comes to that. But I think the more you are diverse, as far as your looks and stuff, I think the more reputable you are, the more valuable you are also. And you can get into a lot of different aspects within the fashion industry versus you just being just in one lane. And I think that's important as a male model.
All right. Name one celebrity you'd like to work with and why. We'll go to Shatira, then Lamar, Ashley, and then William.
I guess I'll say Rihanna because I just love her style and her personality. Like I feel like my brand would be good and it would be able to intertwine with hers, especially since now that she's branched off into doing like a makeup line and also a lingerie line. I just feel like we would mesh well together. So who was next? Okay.
I'm not a big I need to shoot celebrity type person, but I would say Cardi B, just because I feel like she's kind of she's out of the box, and I like out of the box. And then actually, some of the different styles she uses for fashion, I really like. I like her style. She uses a lot of golds, a lot of bright, shiny metals. That's something that photographs very well. So I like her taste.
You don't know one person that you.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't have just one. I have a couple, and I can't narrow it down. Yeah.
Just name them. You don't even have to tell us why.
Okay. I love Tiana Taylor. That would probably be like for clothes. I put her in a hat too, but I mean, I just love her. Yeah.
That's a good enough.
Oh man. From an actor's perspective, Mahershala Ali is one of my favorites. So is Andre Holland, and then I love music too. But Janelle Monáe, I would love to work with her. Like, yeah, I just want to post up next door.
Like just stand there.
Right, it's right by her.
Although I am the one who came up with that question, I don't want this to sound cliche or corny by a long shot, but I personally would love to work with Beyonce. Because we get to see her in vulnerable moments through documentary. And I would hope that it's all real and genuine when we see her in that light. I just feel like she would probably expose me to things that I have never even thought of, saw, or whatever have you. And there are quotes and things that she says when it comes to her actually putting in the work to put together the finishing product or the production in general, that just always, just sinks within me and makes me want to realize that, the things that I'm going after are possible. That's one. Second person, and I get a lot of eye rolls when I say this man, but from the artistic views and his music genius side of him, I'd have to say Kanye West. It's something about that man, regardless to his political views and the things that he have said in the past, that we just meet. Even though I've never met that man a day in my life, I pray that one day that I'll be able to. But yes, I'll have to say Beyonce and Kanye West. So does anyone have any questions for each other before we jump into some other questions or specific questions for the two that I haven't asked yet?
I have a question. Get you on the box. What made you know or decide that you wanted to do makeup? Because I remember the days prior to makeup.
Yeah. Well, like, I was, I'm a mom, and just, I have 3 boys now, so it wasn't anything wrong with what I was doing. It just wasn't my passion anymore. But I still knew I wanted to be in, like, the creative world and be around that, so I just was looking at different things. Like, I was an artist first. Like, I've been drawing, like, and doing art since I was in 5th grade, so it was already there, and it was easy for me to transition into that, and still feel like I was in the modeling realm, and then it kind of just took off on its own into something else.
Like
yeah.
that.
So that's kind of how it got there.
Anybody else have specific questions for each other? Business related or future endeavors that, you think that you could help or have a question for that person? All right. So we'll jump into a personal question. This is for Lamar. How do you manage to be a full-time employee, a father, and still be able to run your business? How do you make that work?
How to make it work. So, luckily for me, the type of work that I do is not, I don't do as much commercial work. I do sometimes. So most of my clients are in the evening and on weekends. So my weekends and evenings are messed up. I will say that. I do spend time with my son, which is harder to come by because the schedule is a little bit more sporadic. But I did get a scheduling app that's helped me a little bit so people can go on and schedule, and I can block off certain times here and there. But it is tough. I mean, I'm admit, and then working all day gives me very little time to edit. So I'm up every night to 3 or 4 in the morning. I mean, it's been like that for years. I mean, and that's kind of like, if you're an entrepreneur, that's probably what you may have to do in order to have sustainability and be able to bring one business up while one business may or may not be profitable for you until you get to that point. So I suggest, a lot of people, they'll go out and leap and do it. I'm more the aspect of, I got a day job, I'm still going to make sure my family eats. And that's the difference. Sometimes you have kids, sometimes you don't. So you have to decide if I make that leap, who hurts if I don't make it? And if it's my family, then I need to have something backing up that. And that was my decision. But a lot of people do it a different way, and that's just how I do it.
Ladies, you want to chime in because you both have children as well and a business?
So, like, how you do it all.
How do you, for you, a
it's
mother, a wife, and a business.
Yeah, it's crazy. So when I first started out, like, me and my husband used to butt heads all the time. Like, he was like, you need to figure out if you're going to do this or this, because I was still working full time as well. And, like, so it would be like 10-hour days sometimes trying to work my regular job and then go and work, like, my, trying to build my makeup business. So then I had to basically learn time management, and I still suck at it. But like Lamar was saying, I have a schedule, so everything I do is planned. Like I have Google Calendar, I schedule everything, even if it's like family time. So like I don't, because I will get in a zone and I will like work into what I'm supposed to do. If I want to hang out with friends, I have to schedule that so I don't forget, because like I'm doing so much. My brain, like I'm like that, how they always say squirrel. Like I'll be like thinking about something and I'll be over here. So yeah, I have to schedule everything, and I'm better at it. I know when my cutoff is, so I have certain hours where I won't work past that. I might still do stuff at home on my computer, but I like won't take clients after a certain time or on certain days, so I can strictly be with my family.
Tough.
Yeah.
I suck at time management, so I'm not gonna talk about how I manage it, cause
All right, we're going to jump back into an open floor question. How important is it to have a support system, and who should be those people that are supporting you?
what was the first part of the question?
How important is it to have a support system?
I feel like everybody wants to be supported. It just depends on what area the support is in. I mean, everybody wants monetary support.
So then let me say this. Why do you need a support system?
Because sometimes you need that push to know that you still got, you know what I mean? You still got somebody in your corner. Even though you're by yourself because you're a business owner, but people have your back if you need them. That people believe in what you're doing. Because sometimes you think to yourself, like, why am I doing this? So to have an outsider, like, I see where you're going, you know what I mean? Sometimes you need that reassurance. What was the second part?
Who do you think your support system should be? More so specific people. Because it's almost like we expect, but we don't get the support from those we expect to get the support from. So
Yes. Yeah, that's a hard. I kind of quit assuming people were going to support in my first year of business. Because if you're expecting certain people to support you, your feelings gonna be hurt 100% of the time, because it's always the ones that you think should be supporting you the most that don't, and vice versa. I have a lady in Texas that has never met me a day in her life, and she's my number one seller. I have people that I met 6 months ago that, make sure they come to every event. I have friends that I've known for years that haven't been to one event. So,
I got something for that too.
tell
you know what I mean?
Tell us, or express how that makes you feel when you don't see your friends and family supporting you in your business.
At first, I took it personal. Especially if you see them support somebody else. You know what I mean? And you like, well, I got stuff going on too.
Yeah.
But then, like I said, you have to kind of let that roll off your shoulder, because if you let that get to you, like I said, your feelings will be hurt every day. But then you have to, what I had to learn and understand, it took a while. I'm still, getting it. But everybody supports differently. Everybody's definition of support is different. So just because they're your friend and you expect them to do something, they might not look at it that way. like I know my aunts and my cousins are going to come to my event even if they don't buy nothing. You know what I mean? Like if I tell them I need you to be there, they're going to be there. And that's them supporting. I have some friends that, like I said, never been to a pop-up but share all of my flyers. And that might be their, you know what I mean? Because and everybody has lives. So, you know, we get so wrapped up in because our business is our baby. So we get so wrapped up in our business, we want everybody to care about it like we do. And we forget that everybody has lives outside of what we have going on. You know what I mean? So because we're so excited about this one thing, somebody might have got fired from their job last week and ain't told you yet. So they can't come to your fashion show. Or, you know what I mean? Or, you know, a family member, you know, people have things going on in their household, so they might not necessarily want to be around people, so they don't want to come to a pop-up. And they might not be ready to express that to me, but, you know, on the outside looking in, I'm like, well, dang, she ain't never, you know what I mean? So you have to give and take. And so I've learned over it has been 2 years. But that's on the figure down, okay. But I have learned over the years that you have to, however they're going to support you, you just have to accept it. And like I said, everybody's definition of support is different. So you can't expect people to act the way you want them to act. So everybody doesn't think. I've learned that everybody doesn't think like I do.
I think she definitely started hitting it. 'Cause I mean, I honestly feel like a lot of people, like you said, their interests are not your interests. And so, and like I said earlier about priorities, people got different priorities. So don't expect, because some people would think the people closest to you will be the ones that will be right there all the time, but quietly they may not really care of what you're doing. You know what I mean? It's a cold hard fact, but you know what I mean. At the same time, or they don't understand it. Especially like just like the life of an entrepreneur. I know, like tonight we all said some stuff about, you know, things that we deal with. We like, oh yeah, because we're entrepreneurs. We understand that, and we understand that. But if somebody's not an entrepreneur or not a creative, they don't talk that language. Right. So y'all talking two different things. Right. You know what I mean? But if it's something that they're interested in, let's just say, for instance, their hobby is, I'm not gonna say that. So okay, so their hobby is something that you can talk to and you like it, then they get all excited about it. So you know how that goes. Anybody else?
You said support, like, sorry.
I'm sorry. I said, how important is it to have a support system, and who do you think those people should be?
Okay. So at the beginning, I feel like you want everybody to support you or expect everybody to support you, and it is really important to you at that point. So it does become personal and hurt your feelings when people are just like, okay, whatever, that's your thing. But then, like, as you grow and get more experience, then you kind of realize, like, not everybody is going to need or want that thing that you do. Or maybe you see them go to someone else and you're like, well, I do the same thing, so why are you going over there? But maybe they like what that person does a little bit better, or they have a different style than you do, because just because you're in the same industry doesn't mean that you all do everything exactly alike. So I just kind of do my own thing. I learn not to really try to force myself onto people or feel like I am. You know, if people, like, they see what you're doing, so if they want to support, they will, or, like, they might support a different way, like Ashley was saying, sharing your stuff, or, you know, telling people about it, giving out business cards, even if they're never going to step foot in your actual business or make an order from you. and you expect it to be the people that's closest to you, like your friends and family, but most of the people that support me are from long distance. Like, I have people in other states and cities supporting me more than people that are right here. Like, they might not come and see me physically, but they're more active and, like, oh, congratulating me and stuff than, like, some people that I know and talk to often. So it just doesn't bother me anymore at this point, because as you grow, like, your support is going to change. So
So we're going to still ride on that question, but I want you to answer it from a point of how did you get over not being concerned about the support? How did you build yourself up into saying, okay, if it's not going to come, it's not going to come. To those who choose to, then okay. So I want you to just explain to us, like, how did you bring yourself up out of that to not be so concerned about, the people?
Well, I know initially when I first started doing theater and acting, like they were speaking to when I was letting people know like my events that were coming up, and like you do have that expectation of like, man, I'm about to be the bomb. We're gonna be out here, and then curtains open. I don't see nobody. Like oh, okay, this is cool. But of course, my support system has been my parents. Like, of course, they're retired. They have the time to be there. you know. For me, fulfillment has always been like self-sustaining thing that I've created for myself, because like Lamar said, I had to learn like the emotional intelligence, and Ashley was speaking to also about not everybody has that same interest, and that's very important to understand, because your feelings will be hurt, if it's not something that they're interested in, what's the point? They don't feel that passion like you do. But like you were at the tail end of that question, like, yeah, I'm at the place now, like, and through experience, I'm okay if you don't show up, long as I know that I'm okay. This is my thing. I get fulfillment from doing this, and it's not externally sustained. So
I wanted to add one little piece onto it just to help, like, because it is hard sometimes when you first start feeling like, people rejecting me or whatever. The people that that are in your industry can be your litmus test. So if they're giving you accolades and say, hey, you're doing great, like I tell you all the time, that was great. Like, I like what you did. I mean that, and I know that you understand that, and I won't say something nice if I don't feel like I need to say it. So that's just the way I am. But also I think that gives you a better testament of what you're doing and how well you're doing. But you also have to have moments of self-reflection on your own, just to make sure, like, sit down, be honest with yourself. Am I delivering what I need to deliver? And if I am, is the response I'm getting back appropriate for what I'm doing? And then you're like, oh, okay, I am doing all right. And it'll help you, because you're not always going to get a person in your field. You're not always going to get a person that you're looking for that's close to you to give you usable feedback or give you the accolades you feel you need. Because if they're just doing it because they're your friend, that's not helping you hone your business or your skills.
So I'll add in on that question as well. It took longer than I expected for myself to stop thinking that friends, family, or the city would be on my back, patting me and supporting me. In 2019, I've just accepted the fact that I got me, I can do this. To those who are going to be there are those who are going to be there. I don't need everybody. So that was a personal question. So that just helped me personally, because being a fashion stylist, I come to the realization that it's not necessarily really needed here, because, like you said, this is a working city. People, and due to the fact that we went through, the whole tornado situation and things like that, I think that these are the things that are probably the furthest things from people's minds. So again, thank you for answering that question, and it'll help me in a lot. We're almost going to wrap this up, but Ashley, it is your turn for your personal question. What do you do to separate yourself from others who may be copycatting or doing things just like you?
All right, because that's yeah, that's hard. I mean, I take pride in saying like no shirt will be the same. I mean, I tell clients all the time, they'll send me a screenshot like, hey, I need this jacket, or can you make this shirt for me? And I'll tell them straight up, yes, I can, but it's not going to look like that. And it's not going to look like that on purpose. I used to get offended. Like I had a girl on Instagram, like when I first started. She stole some of my pictures, and I made a post that tagged her, and yeah, oh, I was pissed. I called my mama. My mama don't even got Instagram. But now, I mean, we still gonna talk about you in a group chat. don't think that. But I think now I almost find it like flattering that you noticed, because that means I'm doing something right. I feel like it's people do what you make look easy. Also, like she had said about starting a business, and a lot of people don't see the background work that you do. So I think you see this smile, you know what I mean, at pop-ups, and you see this rack of clothes, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I can throw some bleach on some shirts, and and then you throw the bleach, and then you still got to distress the shirt, and then you still got to wash the shirt. And then, because I don't use scissors, so, you know, you got all these different materials that you use. And, like, one shirt can take me an hour and a half if I really get into it. So I think once they see that, and it's like, oh, well, I don't really got time for that. Yeah, I give you the money for this shirt. It doesn't bother me as much as it used to. Like I said, now I kind of look at it like a form of flattery almost. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, everybody gets copied.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can't. Yeah. So, you know, you can't. Who am I to not be? You know, I'm just little old me. So, you know what I mean? They copy big wigs, so I just. Yeah. I mean, but like I said, it used to. Oh, that used to grind my gears. But yeah.
Okay, well, we've come to the end of Dorje Day, and I want to thank you all for coming on. But before we wrap this up, we're going to pass the mic back down individually, and you all share with us how people can contact you if they're interested in any of your services.
Kenzie's Clothing, Claudia's Collection on Facebook and Instagram. Ashley Kenzie is my personal page on Facebook, and Claudia'sCollection.com.
On Facebook is Lamar Paisley, Pacley. Looks like Packley. Everybody kills that. Instagram is at Shutter Eye Photo. Wedding stuff is at Dayton Wedding Photographers. Also the same for the websites, www.shuttereyephoto.com, www.daytonweddingphotographer.com. Oh, and they can always vote for Aaron, me, and Shatira, and is it Will? Yeah, on the ballot for Ohio Buckeye Awards. Don't forget that.
You can find me on Facebook, Shatera Jenkins Beauty Studio. and Dayton Powder Brows. So my name is SHATERRA, and my website is www.shaterajmakeup.com and www.daytonpowderbrows.com.
As was mentioned earlier, my name is William Boatwright Jr., but AKA Bo Willington, which you can find me on Facebook and also on Instagram. And currently I'm doing a production called Daddy Diaries, which will be presented on September 28th at Triumphant Ministries. So look out for that.
You can find me on Facebook as Aaron Dourget. That's Dourje Washington. I also have a business page on Facebook as Dourget the Fashion Stylist. I have an Instagram as Dourget the Fashion Stylist. That's Dourje. I just launched a new website 2 weeks ago at www.dourjethefashionstylist at GoDaddy.com. All right, that's it. This is Dourget the Fashion Stylist. Always remember this: the world is your runway, so use it wisely.